Hi there, Kim from Love Your Design here to talk to you again this morning about what's going on with your human design transits. I promised you that I would talk about Mars, and so here we are. We're going to talk about Mars. It's been in Gate 41 for just over a week now, and I particularly wanted to mention this because it's part of the story around 2027, which anyone who knows anything about human design probably has heard something about, that there's something big happening in 2027. I don't want to go too much into that. I want to talk about one of the fundamental principles of human design that is anchored into that Gate 41. And then I will just give you a little bit of information about the 2027 thing. So Gate 41 is part of a channel, this channel from the root to the solar plexus, that is about the pressure to have experiences. It's really important that we understand that the experiences that we have are either nourishing to us or not. And when I say nourishing, what I mean is you can have an experience where your only learning was, oh, I shouldn't have had that experience. I shouldn't have made that choice. Really, all I got out of that was not fun for me. And then you can have an experience that might be just as difficult as the first example, and yet you learn so much about yourself as a person through that experience. This is what I mean when I say nourishing. You know, we're going from the old mechanistic kind of thinking to a new quantum living systems kind of thinking. And in the old mechanistic system, basically any experience is just an experience. It's kind of random. It doesn't really matter what the experience is. You just kind of get through it, and you might enjoy it or you might not. But in living systems, you actually have to have experiences that provide integrity in terms of your own evolution. That's what this channel is about. This channel says you have this capacity to be able to choose the particular kinds of experiences that build on your evolutionary process, that make evolutionary sense for you, which means I learned something from that. I'm a better person as a result of that. That was nourishing for me at the soul level. So I'm not saying it was good or bad. I'm saying I learned something from that. You can see this gate's called decreasing. And that's because not every experience is for you. And often we have to, in order to get integrity in the way in which we live so that we're choosing the right kind of experiences, we need to simplify our lives. We need to be able to have the space to be able to make the choice about what's right for us and what isn't. And there's a kind of a clarity that comes, and that's this gate. It works both ways. When we have a space that allows us to have clarity, we can choose the right decisions. When we choose the right decisions, we're able to come to a process of clarity. We can build over time a life of clarity when we continue to decrease the kinds of experiences that aren't correct for us. And that word correctness is used a lot in human design. It's a really important word. It basically means you're choosing the correct experiences to give you the correct vector in your own personal evolutionary growth. Otherwise, it's basically pollution, right? It's not useful to you. Now, right at the moment, we also have Ceres here in Gate 30. You can see Ceres in Gate 30, line 2. And Ceres is a planet that is about so many things. I call it the mothering planet. It is actually a planet. It orbits between Mars and Jupiter. Doesn't show up in your standard human design chart, but I'm on Taraka here, taraka.io, where you can go and check all your minor planets. Ceres in this gate at the moment with Mars is really making us tune into the kinds of experiences that are nourishing. So Ceres is about nourishment. What nourishes me? What gives me a sense of, no, I don't want to go into that. Ceres is quite complex, but let's just go with this. What nourishes me is a good place to be. Now, back to 2027. In 2026, Mars is going to go back into Gate 41, into the position that it was in when Uranus was discovered. At the same time, Neptune is going into, now, the opposite, I don't know which gate, the opposite gate to the one it was in when Uranus was discovered. So if we look at the Uranus discovery chart, 1781, when we made the shift from being a 7 to a 9-centered being, according to Ra's information from the revelation, the human design revelation, that 1781 moment when Uranus was discovered was a trigger point for the evolution of humanity. And in 2025-6, leading into 2027, Pluto's going back into this gate, and Neptune's going back into the gate, the opposite gate to the one that it was, or the complementary or programming partner gate for the one it was in when Uranus was discovered. And then in February 2027, gate 41 will be activated by a full moon. And that is the point at which there will be this tremendous shift in human consciousness. And it's all around these ideas about choosing the right kind of experiences, having the correct kind of environment, so that the unique version of you is what comes forth, not the homogenized version that thinks it's a machine and can undergo any kinds of experiences and it doesn't really matter. You've just got to get through it. Really big difference between those two ways of being. That's why gate 41 is so important. Okay, Kim from Love Your Design. I'll see you next time.